All right, everybody, make sure you hit like and subscribe because we're about to jump into something really juicy today.
We're talking Bezos. The Washington Post Kamala Harris, it's a story for the ages.
Oh, yeah.
We're calling this deep dive billionaire blowback.
I like it.
And we've got our main source here, which is a news article from October 26, 2024, called Hashtag Boycott Amazon Trends as Bezos Kills WaPo's Harris Endorsement.
Catchy title.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. So the story goes that Jeff Bezos, who bought the Washington Post back in 2013,
Right.
allegedly killed their endorsement of Kamala Harris for president.
That's right. And this isn't the first time Bezos buying the Washington Post has sparked, some raised eyebrows.
Oh, definitely not.
Ever since 2013, people have been kind of, side-eyeing the situation.
Right.
Because you've got, the richest man in the world owning one of the most prestigious newspapers in the world.
Yeah, and it does make you wonder.
It makes you wonder, are we really getting, a truly independent press when you've got a billionaire calling the shots?
Exactly. And so this situation has really kind of thrown gasoline on that fire.
Okay.
Because now there's, all this talk about, well, is he interfering with their editorial decisions?
Well, yeah. I mean, the article even quotes some of the Washington Post's senior columnists.
Well, yeah.
And these are some big names. These are people with, decades of experience at the paper.
It said their combined experience is 218 years at the paper.
Wow.
Almost the entire life of the United States.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
And they put out a statement saying that this decision not to endorse Harris was a, quote, abandonment of fundamental editorial convictions, end quote.
Yeah, and that's a pretty serious accusation.
Yeah.
To come from, people within the paper.
Yeah, it's not coming from, some random people on Twitter.
Exactly.
These are people who, this is their life.
Their careers, their legacy.
Yeah, and so it really makes you wonder, what is going on behind closed doors?
Well, and also, endorsements from a paper like the Washington Post, they're not just symbolic. They do actually carry weight with voters.
Yeah. I mean, for people who aren't really, plugged into politics or haven't made up their minds yet, they might see that the Washington Post is endorsing someone and be like, oh, well, they're a trusted source. Maybe I'll vote for that person.
Right, exactly. They could be the deciding factor for a lot of people.
Yeah. And so to think that Bezos might be, influencing that in some way is kind of disturbing.
It's definitely concerning.
Yeah. And so I think that's why you see so much outrage on social media.
Oh, yeah.
The article talks about how hashtag boycott Amazon is trending.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that, too. People are posting screenshots of them canceling their Amazon Prime subscriptions.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And saying, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to Target, I'm going to shop anywhere but Amazon.
It is pretty wild to see how quickly people are, willing to jump ship.
Right, and I think that speaks to the power of social media these days.
Yeah, I mean...
that people can organize so quickly and put pressure on these companies.
Yeah, and for a company like Amazon that relies so much on its customer base and, having that huge reach and having everyone on their platform.
Right.
If people start boycotting them en masse, that could actually have a real impact.
Yeah, it could hurt their bottom line. It could hurt their reputation.
Yeah.
And it could force them to, reconsider their actions.
And the article also mentioned that even George Conway,
Oh, wow.
Kellyanne Conway's husband and a pretty prominent Trump critic, he's even gotten on board with the boycott.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's been tweeting about finding alternatives to Amazon, and he has this pinned tweet on his profile that says, "Democracy dies in cowardice." Pretty strong words.
Yeah, wow. That's really putting it out there.
Yeah, and I think, it really speaks to the bigger picture here, which is about press freedom and, the influence of these incredibly wealthy individuals.
Right. It raises questions about whether we can have a truly free press when you have these billionaires owning these massive media companies.
Yeah, it's kind of like this perfect storm of all these different issues converging.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got the power of tech giants, the concentration of media ownership.
You've got the political landscape.
The upcoming election.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is. And so we want to hear from you guys. What do you think about all this?
Is this a justified business decision on Bezos' part, or do you think he's overstepping?
Is boycotting Amazon the right response, or is there something else that people should be doing?
What would you do if you were one of those Washington Post journalists?
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
I think the biggest question this whole situation raises is, how do we ensure a free and independent press in this day and age?
Yeah, that's a really important question, and I don't think there's an easy answer.
No, definitely not. But it's something we all need to be thinking about and talking about.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And we'll see you next time.